Obama is a very, very sweet man when it comes to his wife, all right? And he just recently had an interview, and he was talking about how he and his wife are constantly negotiating. And when the negotiations happen, it usually involves their children, right? So the video will make what I'm saying a lot clearer, and then we'll discuss it.
Yeah, I as you can imagine, I've got some experience in negotiating in marriages, so I'm gonna let it rip. But anyway, let's watch Obama first.
The president sat down with us primarily to talk about the Shriver report and its finding that a workforce that's half women changes everything.
When I think about policy, I'm constantly thinking about how can we strengthen families, how can we provide more resources, greater flexibility, so that women can thrive, because I think if women are thriving, everybody's going to be thriving.
For the president, that woman's nation starts at home.
You go home and you're basically, it's a women.
I'm surrounded.
It is women everywhere.
It's me and Bo.
The president says he can relate to what the report calls the negotiation between the sexes.
Today's Obama family is obviously not typical. 5 years ago, 6 years ago, though, we were having a lot of negotiations because Michelle was trying to figure out, okay, if the kids get sick, why is it time
that's the
off
best part.
of her job to go pick them up from school as opposed to me? Now, what I've tried to do was to learn to be thoughtful enough and introspective enough that I wasn't always having to be told that things were unfair. But there's no doubt that our family, like a lot of families out there, were ones in which the men are still a little obtuse about this stuff and need to be knocked across the head every once in a while in terms of making sure that everybody is treated fairly.
Do you feel like you had to come to that recognition?
Absolutely. And look, the truth is that Michelle still had to make sacrifices of the sort that I did not have to make.
Mr. Obama won the female vote handily and has put women in high places in his administration and the Supreme Court. The first bill he signed, a pay discrimination law. But the president drew criticism from some women recently. We asked about that basketball game he hosted for congressmen and cabinet secretaries on the official presidential schedule, but no women invited.
You could say this was just a game. You might say it was a networking opportunity with the president or some kind of political activity. And I guess I just wonder, what happened there? Some people might look at that and say, gosh,
that's a great look.
Boys Club again.
Yeah, I've got to say, I think this is bunk. Basically, the House of Representatives, they have a regular basketball game, and they had wanted to play here at the White House court, and we invited them. I don't think sends any kind of message or signal whatsoever.
So you don't buy this notion that it's something more than basketball?
Absolutely not.
No,
All right.
Well, the president says he gives a lot of thought
All right,
to
that's
whether
it.
the women...
All right, I have many things to say about this. All right, number one, that reporter's hot. Where does she come from? I never saw her before. All of a sudden, that's a really hot reporter hanging out there. Face, body, da-da-da. Okay. Now, how inappropriate is it for me to talk about that when we're talking about respecting women and their role?
All right.
I'm the most inappropriate man on the world.
Yes.
Okay. I denounce and reject myself. So now we move forward. The substance of this I really want to get to is say, but we have to address the basketball point first.
Okay.
You want women at the basketball game? Then why don't we not play? Why don't we play Yahtzee?
Okay, Cenk, can you calm down? I think that it's okay to...
what am I going to do? I'm going to play with Debbie Stabenow?
All right.
Okay, I mean, I love you. I mean, she's a good senator, okay? I mean, sometimes, right? But I'm not playing ball with Debbie Stabenow. Or Madeleine Albright, or Hillary Clinton. It's not the point. You know what I want to hear from Hillary Clinton about? Foreign policy. Okay, what I don't want to do is take her on in a basketball game. No, I get emotional about that because there's a place. If you're looking to have an intelligent conversation, okay, about policy in the Obama White House, you do it with women and you do it with men, okay? And they are an important role. When you go to play basketball, you want it to be competitive. It's silly playing with women who are not competitive. Silly, okay? All right? Now some games like co-ed softball, yeah, that's fun. Everybody's having fun. We're having beers. We're having a picnic. We're playing volleyball. Great. But some games are pointless. Football, basketball, etc. I mean, come on, come on. Look, you got to keep it real. All right, now onto the real substance of this. Okay, so you love this, right?
Yeah, I loved it. Look, when he was talking about negotiating with his wife when it came to raising his children, I love the fact that he understands that it is not solely a woman's responsibility to raise the children. It is not her, it is her job to sacrifice things, but it is not only her job, okay? It is his job as well. And I love that he understands that. And that's a really, really good example that he's setting for other families in the United States.
He's such a great politician. I mean, if you want to appeal to the woman vote,
that totally appealed to me.
He knocked it out of the park. He crushed it, right?
Yes.
Now, it's, as usual, kind of boring. Like, he didn't say anything interesting. If Bush had done that, interview, he'd be like, my role is, I think I have it on tape.
My job is to make decisions.
I'm a decision maker, right? And then I said, Laura, I made the decision. You do the dishes. Okay? I made the decision. You raise the kids. Okay? My job is to make decisions. Right. So Bush would have said something clownish and fun, right? So Obama does a great job here. Now, do I agree with it? Okay. Absolutely. Okay, the reality is, and I see it inside my own marriage too, is that there are these assumptions that are so hard to shake, right? The assumption is she makes dinner. The assumption is she does dishes. Now, and her friends were talking about this recently, right? I do the dishes. Like, I put them in the dishwasher, I take them out, la la la. And I do it maybe once a month, right? And I want so much credit for it. Okay, like I'm not like, oh no, wait a minute now, who just did the dishes? It's not a big deal, but who just did the dishes, right? What I don't notice is that she did it 2 or 3 more times than I did.
Right.
Right? And then even when I notice it, I can't help but think like, man, I did it the other day. And I was like, and I must have asked for validation 3 different times. But in reality, of course it should be equal, because she works just as much as I do. In fact, she works 6 days a week, right? So those assumptions aren't fair at all, right? So those are good. Those are really important points to point out to people, because even a guy like me has to be reminded of it, right? A guy like me, like a super lib, although you couldn't tell from the earlier part of this conversation, has to be reminded of it. And it's look, you got to be fair, and it's not fair to put all the housework, all the work of raising the kids on the woman, and then expect her to work just as much as you do, professionally.
Right.
That's crazy.
And let me just make one point about the basketball thing before I forget. When it comes to Obama, you have to look at the big picture. He's obviously not a misogynistic pig. He's obviously not sexist, okay? He has given women top positions in the White House. And, he's just not a sexist guy. So that's why the basketball thing didn't bother me. However, if the tables were turned and if he had a reputation for being misogynistic, it would piss me off.
Not for me at all. Not one scintilla. And let me tell you something. A woman's place is not necessarily on the basketball court, but it is on the Supreme Court. And that's what he got right, okay? But don't take that literally. Of course women can play basketball, WNBA, rock and roll, etc. I'm just saying, men and guys, you put the WNBA best players against the worst players in the NBA, and they will get their house rocked so hard, they won't know how to turn left or right for a week, okay? So let's just keep it real. That's all we do here, all right? Now, boy, that felt good to vent. I don't know why, randomly. Okay, anyway. Should I add one little needless story to this?
Sure.
That's what we do, right? So there's a couple of girls who play at UCLA, where I play, right? Where I play pickup ball, right? And they're pretty good. Some of them are. About half of them are pretty good. They got a good shot. They're good teammates. They know when to pass. They know when to shoot. No problems. One of them is convinced she has the best shot in the world, and she never makes it, right? So if you have her on your team, she can't play defense because the guys are so much faster, right? And look, I got similar issues. I'm an aging dude who sometimes feels like he's got lead legs, but I hustle, right, trying to make up for it. Anyway, disaster. You have her on your team, it's over, okay? Your chance of winning is like 12% at best if you got some kick-ass other players, right? But that's not the problem. Okay, so they're bad players, right? This one girl, she's in every game, but if I'm guarding her, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't want to put my body on her, right? And that's how I play, to get rebounds and everything.
Yeah.
And if you touch her, she's like, oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, you've told this story before.
I'm like, no, wait a minute. You can't come and play with the guys. And then if somebody is trying to get a rebound and, is boxing you out, you're like, oh, yeah, I see you. I'm like, what do you see? And she, like, has done it to me once, but she does it to all the guys. It's not about me, okay? And I have a friend who was like, who is not having that, okay? So no, if you're looking for equality, you got to have equality, okay? And and the thing is, you can't. Mean? That's the thing, you can't. That's why I don't want to play with her, right? Because if there was equality, I would box her out to get a rebound from here to Timbuktu. I mean, she wouldn't even be on the court, okay? I just do this, and she's off the court, okay? I mean, really big guys, I box out. A tiny little girl, gone. You're in 3 courts over, okay? But then you know what I'm saying?
Can we just go to another story?
All right.
You don't understand how much you're kicking yourself in the mouth.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. No, seriously, stop.
All right. Why?
Because
it's anti-women?
No, because you're belittling this woman and you are basically using her as an example of all the women, right?
No, I said half the women are good players, all right.
Oh, they're all right. They're all right.
But they're not as good as the guys. I mean, am I breaking news to you guys? Is that what's happening? Is there anybody under the impression that women play basketball as well as guys? Some women play better than most guys, of course, right? You take a WNBA player and she'll clown my ass, right? These things are obvious. But against equivalent guys, she has no prayer. She can pray to Jesus, Muhammad, Moses, and Buddha put together. Be like, oh, Lord Buddha, help me. And then Ron Artest will come and go, bam, and dunk over her ass, because that's the way it is. You want me to keep going?
No, I'm ready to go.
Because I can keep going.
No, I'm ready to move on to the next